Hello everyone, so today is going to be a little bit of a different video, kind of an experiment. So I've seen this idea done on BookTube, but I have not seen anyone on MangaTube do it. I could have missed one, but I haven't seen anyone do it on MangaTube before. So I thought I would try it out. This is called a monthly reading reset. I'm going to call it a monthly manga reset. So in this video, I'm basically going to show you a couple different ways that I transition my reading from one month to the next. So I'm going to show you how I build a TBR. I'm going to show you some updating of my spreadsheet since I haven't updated them almost all month. I also have an unboxing to throw in here just because I didn't want to make it a separate video, so I'll kind of have it be a little bit of a haul section. So just anything I can think of to kind of wrap up October and move into November. So I think I'm going to go ahead and start with my November TBR. Since I don't have the assistance, if you want to call it that, of the TBR jar anymore, I wanted to show you how I build a TBR since I do kind of like to challenge myself when it comes to monthly TBRs. I wanted to show you what goes through my head when I try to build a TBR without the assistance of challenges that are given to me. And I know this is going to seem like I'm really overthinking it for some people, but this is the way I like to do TBRs. It really helps me when I have a challenge of some kind to read more, and that's what I'm going to show you in this part of the video. So the first thing I'm thinking of when I'm looking to build a TBR for the month is looking to see what manga series are completing in the month. I like to read those pretty much as soon as they're finished. Usually, if they're on my TBR, then they've been there for a while and I'm just waiting for the series to complete. So once the final volume is out, I like to read the entire thing, and I will wait until that final volume is in my possession before I read it. I would show you an example, but in November, none of the series on my TBR are completing. Last month, For the Kid I Saw in My Dreams was completing, so I added that to my October TBR. So that's the first thing I'm looking for. The next thing that I look at is my 2023 overall TBR to see if I have any series left on there that I have not yet read. I definitely do. So right now, I think I have 3 series left. I have Bakano, which is a light novel series, which I might start this month, but I'm not going to put it on my TBR, I don't think. Maybe I'll add it as a little bonus. But then I have Showa, which is by Shigeru Mizuki. This is a pretty heavily historical manga. I might think about reading that one. That one is only 4 volumes, but they're very thick omnibuses, I think. They might not be omnibuses, but they're very thick volumes. So if I end up completing my entire TBR for November, I'll probably pick up Showa, because I don't want to leave both Bakano and Showa for December and try to force myself to read all of those. They probably won't be difficult reads, but in my head they are, so I don't want to push them both back to December. But the final series, or just manga, that is on my 2023 TBR that I haven't read yet is Tek on Concrete. So this is the paperback version. I know the hardcover version comes out in November. I'm hoping to read this first, and then I'll decide if I'm going to pick up the hardcover version. But this is by Taiyo Matsumoto, and I have enjoyed most of the works by him that I've read. So I've heard fantastic things about this one as well, so I definitely need to read this. And plus, it's just a 1 volume. It's pretty big, but it's a one-shot, so it shouldn't be too difficult, and I'll add this to my TBR. So the next thing I look for when I'm building a TBR is series that I've recently purchased that I need to read for sure, just so they don't sit on my TBR for months and months. I want to get to them reasonably quickly. So the ones that I bought recently that I'd like to pick up in November, the first one is Fire Punch. I have read the first 2 volumes, but I did recently buy the entire thing because I liked it enough to read the entire thing. So this one I wanted to read in October, but I don't have enough time to read it in October, so I'll just add it to my November TBR. And you've probably seen that recently I've been picking up a lot of Osamu Tezuka works and enjoying them, so I recently picked up Buddha, so I want to try to read it in November. Shouldn't be too difficult, it's only 8 volumes long. Osamu Tezuka works don't take too long to read, so I feel pretty confident that I can read these 8 volumes in the month. And then I have a series that I recently picked up because I've heard really good things about it. I haven't read it before. It's not completed, but I am going to read all the volumes that are out right now and then decide if I'm going to keep picking it up. But I bought a lot of volumes. So that is The Case Study of Vanitas. This is by the same author as Pandora Hearts, which I really enjoyed. I've heard really good things about this manga. I know it was on hiatus at some point. I don't think it's on hiatus anymore. But I have the 9 volumes. Actually, there's 10 volumes out, and I haven't bought the 10th volume, but if I like it enough, I'll go ahead and buy that one. But I have 9 volumes of this to read. And once I've picked enough series that are mid-length Then I'll go ahead and supplement my TBR with one-shots to kind of break everything up. So this month I have AA Prime by Moto Hagio. I've said this before, but I've really been enjoying my reads of Moto Hagio, so I definitely want to read this one. Then I feel like if I keep putting this one off, I'm never going to read it, but I have Break of Dawn. This is one that I was really excited for, but then when it came out, there were some really bad reviews from people I trust, so I kind of put it to the side, but it's just been sitting there unread, so I need to just read it. It's a one-shot. I think it's a 3-in-1 omnibus, so I'll read this and hopefully not die of boredom. Then I have an interesting one. This one I was, again, going to try to read in October, but it is Kafka. So this is manga adaptations of various works by Franz Kafka. In a later clip in this video, you're going to see me unbox other books from this publisher, and I kind of talk about this, but now I actually have it. The art is very unique. I don't really know what to compare it to. Let me see if I can find a good picture. I don't think I've seen a manga art style like that before, so it seems a little bit alternative, so that sounds interesting. I haven't read a lot of Franz Kafka works, but I do love a good manga adaptation of a novel, so that's why I picked this one up. And then I just have some more volume 1s that I need to read. I am still planning on doing that tri-volume video. It will probably be up after my October manga reads video, which will be up after this video. But I have 2 new volume 1s. So I have The Essence of Being Amused volume 1, and I have Centaurs volume 1. So I'm planning on reading these in November and adding them to that video. So with that, I have about 31 volumes. So I always like to give myself a challenge. I like to have very ambitious TBRs because it just is more fun to me. So that might seem like a lot, but for me, it's fine. And if I have some extra time in my head, I have like a mental list of series that I need to get to next. So I'll go ahead and read those. But I think that's enough for this TBR. I do want to mention how I pick the novels I'm going to read in the month. Really, it's just whatever I didn't get to the previous month and any books I need to return to the library very soon. So I mentioned this last month. This is the writing retreat. I didn't get to it, but I'm hoping to get to it before my loan expires for this. And then I have The Other Side of Night. This one I don't think I talked about, but it's in the same situation where my loan is going to expire, so I need to read it soon. And yeah, that's basically how I build a TBR for the month. It's kind of all over the place. It might seem like really silly to think this much about the manga I'm going to read in the month, but for me it's really fun, so that's why I do it that way. And next I think I'm going to show you how I update my spreadsheets, because I'm really far behind on them and I track a lot of stuff on there. I've done a whole video on my spreadsheets, but I feel like it would be interesting to see how I update it every month. So let's do that. So I'm not going to do a voiceover for this entire thing, but basically I'm just going through my spreadsheet. As you can see, I haven't updated it since the very beginning of the month with just the first thing I read in the month. So I have about 40 volumes to add here. Again, I'm not going to show you that entire thing, but I'm basically just adding everything I read to my spreadsheet. It tracks a lot of different stats for me that I just think are fun to look at the end of the month and the end of the year. And then later on in this section, you'll see me go through my list of owned manga and check some things off as read. And then that's basically what I'm doing. So this will just be a quick little time lapse of a couple volumes I'm adding into my spreadsheet. Again, I'm not going to show you all of them because it would be really boring. If you don't think this section is interesting, just go ahead and skip to the next timestamp and watch the next section, but I'll just put in some music here and you can watch it. Okay, so I'm hoping my spooky manga are in this box, but Crunchyroll never sent me a shipping confirmation for this. It just showed up, so I really have no idea what's in it. I mean, I know what I ordered, but I don't really know what they shipped to me, if they send pre-orders early, so I'm just gonna open this with you and we'll see what's inside it. Looks like typical Right Stuff packaging so far. So I have these this time. So I have Kageki Shoujo, Volume 10. This was one I pre-ordered, so nice to have that. Very exciting, Golden Kamui, Volume 30. So one more volume of this before the series is completed. That volume should come out in January. I don't know why this volume feels extra floppy than usual. Don't know why. And then this is one I was definitely looking forward to. This is Centaurs. I don't know a lot about this, but I know it's only 6 volumes. The volume is pretty thin, but that's okay. It's also by Ablaze Manga. I don't think I have any from them. I like this back cover too. But, so, this is none of my spooky manga, but I have one more package. So let's open that one and see if the spooky manga I want are in there. And this still did ship from the Right Stuff warehouse in Iowa, so I assume it got to me quickly. Again, they didn't send me a shipping confirmation, so I don't know how long it took to actually ship to me. And to look at your orders on Crunchyroll is incredibly tedious and annoying, and I don't understand the information it shows to me, so I really have no idea when this was shipped to me. This one feels heavier, so I can see right on the bottom here, we have volume 7 of Asadora with the nice Halloween color theme going on. Really like the French flaps on these volumes. Well, I see one spooky one that I wanted. Actually, 2 of them. All right, so first up top here, we have Betwixt. This is not a Junji Ito manga, even though it looks like it. So this is a horror manga anthology, as it says here, and it's half stories written by Japanese mangakas and half stories written by American artists, I believe. So here's the cover of this one. I really like the spine. I saw this volume at Barnes & Noble, and I really wanted to buy it just because the spine is really nice to me. Ooh, look at that. I've never seen anyone open this before, so I didn't know the end papers were this color. That's nice. But anyway, so to read this, you read half of the stories like this, and then you flip around and read the other half of the stories like this. So that's interesting. And then this is one I was definitely waiting for. This is For the Kid I Saw in My Dreams, volume 11. The final volume you can see right there. And I was waiting to read the series until this volume came out, and I feel like I've been waiting a long time. But I finally have it now, so I can read it. In this order, with these 3 volumes, I did also order Mimi's Tales of Terror, which was a pre-order. But usually, since that's a Viz release, usually Right Stuff would get those really early and send them to me early. So I don't know if they just hadn't gotten it when they sent these out, or if now Crunchyroll isn't sending out pre-orders early. I'm not sure. I'd have to do some more experimentation with Crunchyroll, but I'm not very happy with them right now. But here's everything I got this time from them. I will include this in my try a volume video that I will be doing at some point. It's been delayed, but it's still happening. And then definitely getting to these 2 very soon. While I'm here, I also decided to try out a new manga website. This one is Mary Manga Co. I have not bought from them before, and I've tried a few of these smaller manga websites, but usually they just take so long to ship to me that I don't want to buy from them. But Mary Manga Co. had a lot of indie publishers, so those books were really cheap, and they were all readily available. They had them in their warehouse or wherever they ship from, and they sent them right to me the next day, so I didn't have any wait. So I'm very excited for this. Let's see what it looks like inside and the packaging and stuff. Packaging looks good. I like how these are like individually wrapped. So first up, we can see right here, I have Nonon Ba by Shigeru Mizuki. For some reason, I thought this was out of print, so when I saw it on there, I was very excited. I don't think it's actually out of print though, but this is by Drawn and Quarterly, which does a lot of Shigeru Mizuki's works. and I try to collect most of them. This one I believe is about Shigeru Mizuki's grandmother. On here it says an elderly neighbor who inspired him with his works on yokai and stuff like that. He does a lot with yokai, so very interested to read this one. I heard about this years ago, so to finally have it in my hands is nice. Next I have this, which is definitely a heavy manga. I think it's only one book though. Oh, it's two. So first I have Ripples. These are published by Glacier Bay. And so I did mention in my last haul that I wanted to check out some more Glacier Bay works, and most of the ones that I got in this package will be from Glacier Bay because they were, again, really cheap, or usually things from this publisher don't get discounted very much, so to see them all discounted on this website was really nice, so I went ahead and bought a bunch of them. So I don't know much about any of them. They just look really nice, not typical manga art style. It's very unique. This one I can already tell is a very nice book. Ooh, look, it has a bookmark, and this looks like an art print or something like that. Nice. I love bookmarks. And here's the actual book. It also has this obi, I think it's called, with more art on the inside. That's nice. So I'll show you the retail price on the back of this, maybe. Although it doesn't have a barcode, so maybe I won't. But this one is pretty expensive because it is in full color as well. And since this is an indie publisher, usually their prices are a little bit more than the average volume, but I don't mind paying that. So there's those, and I have this package. So this one is called Invisible Parade. Had to read that across the book. There you go, that's the cover I saw on the listing. This one is really shiny. So this is the Carmen line. Again, I don't know anything about these. Nice blue ink in there. But I just wanted to check out some more Glacier Bay releases. This is a very small volume. This looked like a fantasy or something like that. But the art in this is really what struck me. This one and this one are by the same author, and the art is really, really nice. This one, I'll look at the color pages. This one is another smaller volume called From This Flame. And I did look up reviews of all of these before I bought them. And I decided a couple of them I wasn't going to pick up because of the reviews, but most of them had amazing reviews, so I bought most of the ones that I was looking at. This is not from Glacier Bay, this is from Young Press. This is one they had on clearance. This is The Essence of Being a Muse. I believe this is similar to Blue Period in that it's about art school and kind of figuring out what you want to do with your life when you're in that transition period. It says she's 23 years old. So I'll check this one out. Maybe I'll put this one in a try volume video as well. I probably will. And then lastly, I remember what these are. I'm not sure when this video is going to go up, if I think it's going to go in the other video I'm planning on filming, or if it's going to be in its own separate thing. But these I think I'm going to read in October. Hopefully I can get to them, but this is Dark Gathering. I wasn't really going to pick this up, but I've heard that it's actually like a horror manga, or not just cutesy horror like it looks like on the front. I heard it's actually dark, so I'll give this a try. Here's volume 2 and volume 3. They had 3 in the ready to ship section on the website, so I went ahead and bought the 3 that were there. This one does look like it got a little bit damaged. I'm not sure if that's from shipping or if it was like that, but honestly, I don't really care. That doesn't bother me. That was Merry Manga Co. Overall, I'm very happy with this purchase. Again, I haven't tried to order anything from them like pre-orders or things that were in stock but aren't actually like ready to ship. So from reading on their website, I believe that when you submit an order on there for something that's in stock but not something they actually have on hand, they'll order it from their distributor and then they will get it and then send it to you. But it's not like they actually have all these volumes on hand ready to ship unless it specifically says that. So those are all the ones that I ordered were ones that specifically were ready to ship, and they were sent right away the next day. And overall, other than this little dent right here, everything was in great condition. So I'm not opposed to using them again. I'll definitely check them out in the future, especially if they carry more indie manga. And also, since I'm here, I also got a Barnes & Noble order in today, so I might as well just open that since I'm opening everything else I got today. So these are not manga, these are regular books, but I bought them because there's a manga coming out from this publisher called Kafka, which seems to be manga adaptations of some works by Franz Kafka, as the title would suggest. And that sounded really interesting, so I ordered that, and then I saw that it was from a publisher that I'd never heard from before. What is this? Pushkin Press. And when I ordered that, they had, like, in the next picture in the listing, they had a bunch of other books that they had released, and these ones sounded interesting from those. Again, I did look up reviews before I ordered these, but this one is called Nails and Eyes, and I think this is about a girl who loses her mother, and then it gets kind of dark. I have like way too many things I want to read in October. Right now when I'm filming this, it's October 21st, and there's no way I'm going to be able to read all these things in October before the month ends, but it's a good thing. I like to read horror stuff all the time. This one I believe is about like really toxic masculinity, because a guy, 17-year-old, becomes like obsessed with this crane, I think, and tries to save it, or like save the population, something. I don't know. I looked into it briefly, but you know me, I don't like knowing too much about books or manga before I read them. But these sounded interesting, and like I said, I also ordered the other book by this publisher, and I'm looking into some more that they will be releasing towards the end of this year and next year. But yeah, that's everything I got in this haul for today. So if you've read any of these, please let me know what you thought of them. Basically everything I wanted to do in this video. If you have any thoughts about this type of video, please leave those comments down below. I'd love to hear your feedback. I have some other ideas for other little sections to add into a video like this so it doesn't just get repetitive every month. But this was pretty fun, so I don't mind doing this again if people like it. If not, if I like it, I'll do it again anyway. Otherwise, let me know what you're planning on reading in November. I'd love to hear that down below. But that's gonna be it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!